storms, such ferocious as those, we have seen snowfall in parts of the country. Check out this shot out of Lake Louise. Absolutely stunning, but for some who are not a fan of the snowy conditions, or perhaps those who are holding on to summer, that scene might be a little daunting. Well, you can see over the Rockies, we do have some snow accumulation. Well, the overnight lows across Alberta dipping below the freezing mark the past couple of days, which reminds me, we are hosting our winter sneak peek on Wednesday. You'll want to tune in for that, because if you are a fan of any winter activities, you're probably wondering, when are we going to see snow? So that will give you a little bit more clarity, but not really feeling winter-like across the country. Plenty of heat situated across the east, and you can really see the sharp gradient as Calgary's just 7 degrees this afternoon, Regina 8 degrees, even Vancouver 17. But looking over to the east, you can see temperatures well above the 20s, 27 degrees, sunny skies in Toronto. In fact, Sarnia reached 30.8 degrees just yesterday. What a way to start off the month of October, but it's not going to last forever. You can see the temperature trend slowly on a decline. You only have a couple more days across the southern portions of Ontario to enjoy these warm conditions, while Calgary, parts of Alberta continuing to drop in temperature. You can see by next week dropping to about 3 degrees. Sunny skies once again across the GTA to end off your weekend. I'm Victoria Fenn, Alvarado, and if you have any outdoor plans, perhaps you're headed to the Dome or the City of Toronto, feel free to send us a picture or video. We would love to share it on our show. You can send it to me at Victoria Fenn Alvarado or at the Weather Network on any social media platform. I mentioned the sunny skies. Well, it's also feeling more like 32 in the City of Toronto, and the warmth still holding on through the evening hours, but I'm sure people are wondering, how long are these warm conditions going to last? Here's Kevin McKay with your full forecast. But it looks like over 200 hectares has been burnt. They're still trying to fight some of those flames. But the temperatures, those have been quite a topic of conversation, considering some places like Ottawa, for example, 29 degrees this afternoon. Yesterday, Sarnia, Ontario hit 30.8 degrees. So still holding on to summer-like conditions across parts of the southeast, but you can really see the contrast with the west, or Calgary, I should say, just about 7 degrees. And through the overnight, dropping down below the freezing mark. While you're still holding on to a little bit of warmth across the east, just keep in mind this won't last forever. It's a friendly reminder that we are in the midst of October. It is the fall season, so it is quite typical for us to see frost starting to form in some places, where you can really see the temperatures struggling to reach that seasonal mark across parts of Alberta, specifically the south, where Calgary, for example, next weekend for Thanksgiving, dropping to about 3 degrees. Signs of the times where we're starting to see snow on some of those mountain tops. Well, it is in the high elevated areas. It's not likely going to impact many people. We could expect a dusting of snow for some parts of Alberta's along the Rockies. And your temperatures not going to last forever, like I mentioned, across the east, considering we have cooler air shifting. Well, tomorrow will still be fairly nice, even nicer across the west. You can see the temperature trend for parts of southern Ontario, like Toronto, for example, really dropping right back down to that seasonal range. So you're only going to have a couple days left of these 20-degree temperatures. So if you're a fan, certainly enjoy your Sunday, enjoy the rest of your weekend, head out and enjoy some of those fall-like activities.
Wherever you are.
And enjoy what's left of it, considering we are still feeling like the 30-degree mark across the GTA. Toronto, 27, sunny skies. If you're headed to the Falls, 28 degrees, again, sunny skies. But just a friendly reminder, we are in the middle of October, the beginning of October. So you're probably wondering, when are we going to start feeling those winter-like conditions? Well, on Wednesday, you'll want to tune in here to the Weather Network, because we feature our winter sneak peek, giving you a preview of what the winter season is going to be like. Well, certainly not feeling like winter right now. Here's Kevin McKay with your full forecast. Meteorologist Kevin McKay. Kevin, this was once a hurricane. How did this become with the pressure dropping so low?
Well, this was, a Category 5 hurricane, but it didn't go from a Category 5 to this impressive pressure drop. The storm did weaken, became post-tropical, and then it gets drawn into the very impressive.
And we saw some of those trees downed, winds at one point over 150 kilometers an hour. Kevin, very true. Quite the scary scene there if you were in the airplane. However, people at home, Kevin, there were at its peak over 200,000 power outages recorded across Scotland, as well as thousands of power outages reported across Ireland as well. Well, a lot of the power has since been restored in some areas. We still do have some mess to clean up, considering some of these roads completely covered with floodwater. You can see the cars trying to travel through there. In fact, Scotland, in parts of Scotland, they had to cancel their ferry services, and plenty of road closures, all due to the high tides. So we continue to monitor this story here at the Weather Network with the devastation out in the UK.